Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, gold and precious metals, as well as the stock market, are going to be some of the topics that we're going to be talking about in this morning's video. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having an amazing Friday. Let's get straight into it. Okay, the coronavirus is posing a real threat, albeit a perceived threat. We see production in China is at an all-time low, and this is wreaking economic havoc all over, especially in the stock market. So if you're a stock market investor, you are currently down to the tune of 10% year to date. And this is contributed mainly to the coronavirus in China, which, as we know, is slowly growing and spreading throughout the world. But how does this affect the other assets? If we look at gold, year to date, you're up 20 to 25%. So I bet if you're a gold investor, you are really, really excited about that. Now, with cryptocurrencies and Bitcoins, what we've seen is that it is up dramatically this year, but it showed yesterday specifically some correlation to the stock market, which in my mind at least was a little bit concerning. Since then, cryptocurrencies have kind of stabilized, but the stock market still continues to plunge further and further down. So I think that the crisis averted. It is nice to see that these three asset classes are all uncorrelated, which to me is very exciting. The fact that they are uncorrelated means, of course, that if you're invested in the stock market, this doesn't necessarily mean that your Bitcoin or crypto holding is going to go down if the stock market crashes. As with gold, gold has always been a very traditional safe haven, so we are seeing it hold up to its reputation with huge gains. Let's have a quick look at the markets this morning. As you can see on Altcoin Trader, we've got Bitcoin at 142,000 Rand. We've got gold at almost 26,000 Rand per fine ounce, which, as you guys know, Altcoin Trader is so much more than a simple crypto exchange. You can invest in cryptocurrencies. You can invest in precious metals, gold, silver. You can also hedge your Rand with the US dollar if you invest in USDT. So it's three aspects that all work together to give you a really good diversified portfolio. If we look at coin market cap, we've got Bitcoin holding steadily. It did drop quite dramatically yesterday, but we currently at $8,700 US. Is this a dead cat bounce? Is Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general going to go down further? Or have we kind of reached the point where we're going to stabilize, hopefully start climbing up again? We are really on the cusp between a bull and a bear market. A lot of the TA guys not knowing which market we're in. Obviously, the 10,000 US dollar mark being a very strong psychological barrier, something that we need to try and get above if we are going to see a multi-decade bull run, which a lot of people in crypto are expecting because of the halving, which is coming up in the next couple of months. I personally believe that Bitcoin cryptocurrencies is going to be a transfer of wealth that we have never seen. Already, to a certain extent, it has fulfilled that promise, but it is going to continue, and we are going to see massive transfer of wealth by people that are invested in cryptocurrencies. And Bitcoin, is it a cryptocurrency? Yes, it is, but I always feel the need to identify the two separately. So we've got Ethereum at $227 US, and then Ripple also quite sharply down at 23 US cents. Now, something else which I just wanted to put on everyone's radar is Ethereum and DeFi. So we've got Vitalik going and talking to Cointelegraph, telling them the roadmap for Ethereum 2.0. Now, a lot of you guys that have been following this channel know that Ethereum 2.0 is coming out. It is going to be staking. You need to have 32 Ethereum to qualify to stake your Ethereum and get rewarded for holding your Ethereum. It is very exciting. I always suggest that people have the goal of getting 1 Bitcoin. If you have achieved that goal, a secondary goal to consider is getting 32 Ethereum, because when Ethereum 2.0 rolls around, you will have the ability to stake your Ethereum and to earn extra money. Now, a couple of things to consider with this. First of all, it is not going to be easy to stake your Ethereum. You are going to need to have some technical knowledge, and you are going to need to be able to set up a node. Maybe when we get to that point, which I think is a year out at least, I will run some tutorials and we'll go through it together, and I'll show you guys how to get up and running so that you can stake your Ethereum. So bear that in the back of your mind. Maybe start accumulating, getting your 32 Ethereum, if you've of course got your 1 Bitcoin, because guys, I am crazy bullish about Bitcoin. I believe the transfer of wealth is going to be real and it's going to be epic. Now, I personally love Ethereum because DeFi, decentralized finance, is something that is mind-blowing. I am so passionate about it. I've been doing some really good things. Recently, I financed a small property with a DeFi loan, which to me was just such a mind shift. I didn't have to go to the bank. I used my Ethereum. I was able to go and buy the property. I now have a tenant in that property, and I use the monthly rental to pay back my DeFi loan. And 99% of people don't even understand what I'm talking about when I try and explain it to them. It was so refreshing to not have to deal with a bank, to not have to submit mountains and mountains of paperwork, just to use my collateral, to get a loan, to buy a property, and now I'm paying back that loan. And the alternative is absolutely amazing, fascinating, and I am now looking at different ways that I can structure things, different ways that I can work with my portfolio. And once again, I might get into that and give some more detail on decentralized finance, because there's a lot more to it than just simply loans. So that is all currently on the back of Ethereum, which makes me extremely bullish for Ethereum, of course. Now, I love Ethereum, but there is one thing that constantly sits in the back of my mind and makes me a little bit cautious, and that it doesn't have a capped supply. In other words, more and more Ethereum are constantly being created. But there are so many other positives that I am just still crazy and bullish about Ethereum. And that being that there are more developers and more people working on the Ethereum network than any other platform or coin. Decentralized finance is going to change 2020 and is going to change the next decade in a way that I believe I can't even imagine it. I'm deep into it. I'm loving it. It is really super easy to use and super effective. Just think about having a loan and not having to consider getting your loan declined. That in itself is just something amazing. So with Ethereum 2.0, it is a huge change. I really, once I started looking into it, I almost got nervous trying to understand what a big change it is. Now, this change is going to happen slowly. I think that people are anticipating the change sooner than it's actually going to come in reality. My call is that it'll come. Ethereum 2.0 will be launched. They're calling it phase 0, which will be launched this year, but we're only really going to see this actually kicking off and actually working in the years to come. I might be wrong, but that's just simply my opinion. So guys, exciting times with crypto. First of all, crypto doesn't seem correlated, so we are not losing gains because of the stock market crash, because of the coronavirus, because of the general state that our world is in and the tough economic climate, which is a really good sign. Gold is up nicely, which once again speaks volumes about the current economic state of our world. Stock market's down. I feel sorry for those guys who are hugely invested in the stock market, but you know, you only sell when you lose. So if you hold those stocks, who knows, it could bounce back. Exciting times. A lot of things happening in crypto in South Africa. I am going to be planning a meetup in the next couple of months. Maybe we can all get together and just discuss these things in greater detail. Guys, that's it from me. Have an awesome Friday. Unless, of course, you've got other plans. I'll see you next week. Oh, yes, one more thing before I go. Next month is Altcoin Traders' birthday month. And in the giveaway, it'll possibly be the next giveaway or the giveaway after that, we are going to double the prizes. So stay tuned to that. You don't want to miss out on some sweet free crypto. I'm out. Enjoy your Friday.